Hello, Genie OK Boomer here. Welcome to this week's vlog. This week we're going to talk about the president and economics, specifically statements that he's made about economics, which, well, it can only mean three things. Number one, he's lying. Number two, he's getting bad information from his advisors. Or number three, well, he just has dementia and he doesn't know what he's saying. The first one, here is the president making a statement about inflation that you've probably heard before. Here it is.
Under my plan for the economy, we've made extraordinary progress. And we put America in a position to tackle a worldwide problem that's worse everywhere but here, inflation.
You just heard the president say that inflation is worse around the world than it is here. In other words, things are bad here. As always, he doesn't take any responsibility for anything. And he just says, well, it's bad here, but it's worse around the world. So Peter Doocy from Fox News asked Karine Jean-Pierre about that statement and gave her the facts, and well, let's just go right to the video. Here it is.
Why is the president saying that inflation is worse everywhere but here?
As we have said, it is caused by clearly the pandemic, this once-in-a-generation pandemic that we are coming out of, and also most recently the war that Putin started in Ukraine that has caused inflation.
Look locally, though. He says that inflation is worse everywhere but here. That's not true. The U.S. has worse inflation than Germany, France, Japan, Canada, India, Italy, Saudi Arabia.
Well,
so why is he saying that?
I think what we are saying is that when you talk about inflation, it is a global thing. This is something that everyone is feeling because of coming out of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, because of the war that Russia has started in Ukraine.
So you just heard the president, and then you heard Peter Doocy, and you saw the chart. No way around it. What the president said was totally false. Now, the bigger problem, besides just saying something that is not true, well, there are actually two problems. Number one is this consistent behavior of this administration, not just the president, but all the way down, underestimating our intelligence. And you just heard, actually, Karine Jean-Pierre didn't talk about the facts at all, just gave a generic milquetoast, just read a general statement from a briefing book, and I guess the answer, what the briefing book says or what her instructions are, because she doesn't seem to be able to think on her feet at all, so she probably has prearranged instructions. Whenever you're asked any question about inflation, just read that statement. And that's exactly what she did. Now, getting back to the facts, as I said, the president has made this statement a number of times. The first time he said it, he should have been corrected, or his handlers should, as they've done so many times in the past, walk back this statement, but they're not. So they are really underestimating our intelligence because these facts are so easy to check. So that is lie number one that I want to talk about today. Now, lie number two that I want to talk about is, or maybe he's just misinformed, just says something without looking up the information, which I think is possible too. That's a problem that they have with this president. He will, whether it's about Ukraine or, well, any number of subjects, he will just say something off the top of his head, and it has authority, it carries weight when the President of the United States says something, and then his aides walk it back, sometimes within hours, if not even sooner. And I recall reading that he's very angry about having his statements walked back. But what's worse, having them walk back or having them stay out there? It's really, well, don't get me started. I have one more lie to go. So here's the lie. He said that stock market, he talks about how good the economy is, how bad it was before he took office, which is false. Inflation was about 1.4%. It's over 8% now. And we're going to talk about the stock market. He says that the stock market is higher than it's ever been. Oh, one other thing, I just want to throw this in, that he's created 8 million new jobs. He hasn't created any new jobs, 8 million new jobs. We're still 800,000 jobs short of where we were before the pandemic. So he's just talking about recovering lost jobs. He should say, if he's being honest, which he's not, of course, we've recovered, I don't know, 90, he could say we recovered 80%, 90%, whatever it is of the jobs that are lost. We still have some work to do, and we have to continue our wonderful, wonderful policies. That would make sense. It would be more honest and frank with the American people. But he says that the economy is better than it's ever been, that he inherited a bad economy, which I'm going to talk about in the future in more detail. But this thing about the stock market being higher than it was when he took office, that is false. And here is the chart. I put it right up here. You can see that when Biden took office, the very day, January 20th of 2021, the very day that he took the oath of office, the Dow Jones closed at 31,188.38. What is it today? Well, not today, yesterday. I'm recording this on Friday, the 17th, so I had to wait for the market to close because I record this early in the day. So this is yesterday. This is as of the close on the 16th of June, 2022. 29,927.07. Now, you don't have to be a genius, you don't have to be Einstein to understand that 29,927.07 is less than 31,188.38. And as I'm speaking to you today, around, I guess it would be 1 o'clock Eastern, New York time. I'm in Tennessee, so it's noon where I am. But we'll see how the market closes today. But as of right now, the market is down again. This is around, I just told you what time. So there you go. Now, I want to be fair. The market did go up for a while, and the peak was January 4th, 2022, where it peaked at 36,799.65, and it's just gone consistently down since then. That was the high of the market, and it's obviously, at least to me, people can disagree, that it's because his policies kicking in. But the main problem with this is that he is in complete denial. It's interesting, The View the other day, what is it, 4 liberal women surrounding one token conservative, I guess, who's on the show. And the conservative is predicting a red wave, quote unquote red wave, the Republicans doing very, very well in November in the midterms, and Whoopi Goldberg saying, you don't know that, and it's all because of if it looks like a red wave, it's because of the quote unquote big lie. In other words, because of what Trump is saying about the election, which I'm not going to say what he's saying because YouTube, they're bastards over there. And if I say anything specific about the election, they could take this down, this video, and give me a strike if I don't say the right thing. But that's not why. And it tells me, if I had been on that show, sometimes they have a guy on the show, I would have said, well, Whoopi, you just, we will have to wait and see what happens in November. You're right about that, but you just, from what you just said, reinforces the idea of a red wave, because you're saying exactly what the president is saying, that, or their same attitude, which is that, well, the impression you get from this administration is that they're not going to change. They think they are doing all the right things, and they just have to keep doing them longer, and eventually everything is going to be okay. And if they believe that, if they're not going to change their policies, because they have to do a Bill Clinton, they have to do a complete reversal of their policies, and they won't be able to do it before the election, not with the crazy left that runs the party, but also anything he did now would not have a lot. Well, the market would go up because the market would like the change, such as reopening ANWR, restoring the drilling in the Gulf, resume work on the Keystone Pipeline, and of course continue the wall and seriously enforce our immigration laws instead of deliberately disobeying them, which in my view, by the way, is grounds for impeachment. A real impeachment, not the sham, the two sham impeachments that were done to Donald Trump. Remember, the second one, that was done within no months of hearings. It was done within a few days, a couple of weeks. Shows how well, if you really want an example, just look at these January 6th hearings, which are going so badly, and the people, American people, such as myself, care so little about it that NBC actually cut away on the second day. They cut away to a golf tournament. So that just shows you, and they canceled the Wednesday hearing, and maybe they're going to have the one today, Thursday. But they hired a producer, a former producer from ABC, the TV station, to produce. It's a show. It's a show trial. Everybody knows it is. Everybody on the committee handpicked by Nancy Pelosi, including the Republicans. Only 2 Republicans when there should be 5. No ability to call witnesses. No cross-examination of the witnesses that this rigged committee is calling, and no investigation of the real problem, what they should be investigating, which is why Nancy Pelosi rejected an offer of 20,000 National Guardsmen authorized by, from the Pentagon, authorized by, guess who? Donald Trump. So I'll just leave you with that. Thanks as always for stopping by, and I'll see you next week. In the meantime, well, I said thanks for stopping by. If you want to leave a comment, questions, suggestions for future topics, there's the comment section below the video. Share the video with anyone share it with anyone you think would like it. If you you could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. But most of all, well, one more thing. You notice I'm trying not to edit the videos and have a lot of jump cuts, so you're going to see me stumble sometimes, as I just did, because I'm speaking as I go along. I don't have a lot of time I can't write out a script. I just don't have time. So that's why, and I hope everybody's okay with it. If you would rather have me edit out the little pauses and the uhs and the ands, or where I have to kind of start a sentence over, you just let me know, and I'll take it to heart. Maybe I'll start editing out everything. But I used to get complaints about all the jump cuts. So that's it. I said everything I had to say, except that I look forward to seeing all of you again. Would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.
1 a.m. A man, armed with a pistol, arrives outside the home of a Supreme Court justice. He said he was there to kill. Why? Dangerous political brinkmanship.
I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Tell Democrats, your words. Now a madman with a gun. Stop threatening judges.